Welcome to chapter 5. It's not about willpower. This is a great chapter. And I spent most of my life in a place of willpower. I don't know about you, but my ego was really working hard to keep it all together. And it was just force. If I just worked harder, if I just did more. The problem was I got really exhausted. My ego literally, I imagine if my ego could have written me a letter, it would have been like, Yetta, I need a break. I need to head down to Key West and put my feet in the sand. I'm so exhausted trying to hold it together for you. So this chapter, we're going to get to dive all into willpower. There's going to be some great stuff. You've got, again, access to my podcast episodes where I dive deeper. But in chapter 5, I want you to take a look at your table of contents. We're going to dive into the 12 questions to guide you into the present moment. Now that you understand the thinking, feeling, behaving process and how that built beliefs for your entire life, you're now going to start to move into, we don't shift and change those beliefs with willpower alone. Present moment, showing up, sitting down, going within, and cultivating silence and stillness is how we learn how to do that. So there is some doing, but we're now kind of creeping into the being. So remember, I've been leading you up the tracks a little bit on that roller coaster, kind of clicking along. Right here at chapter 5 is where we start to get ready to swing into a little bit of momentum, where we go downhill and it starts to get a little bit easier, a little bit more fun. So we're going to guide you into the present moment. We're going to talk about the 3 barriers to the present moment, because here's my definition of success. If we're talking about real success, all success is being radically and totally present in this moment. So if we can be present in this moment, we have unlimited power and potential. We've just built barriers. Our ego has learned, let me build a lot of barriers to protect you, Yetta, from showing the world who Yetta really is. It's the same for you. Your ego is saying, let me put some barriers up so people don't really see who you are, and we're going to wear different masks and play different roles to go out in the world to get our needs met. So now we're going to start to give your ego a break. We're going to help your ego work to remove the barriers that it built. We're also going to talk about, and this is what's really cool about this chapter, the 10 energetic shifts that occur when we start to shift our belief system. Everything is energy. Everything goes through those 10 energetic shifts. So when we realize this, and you learn in this chapter about those 10 shifts, right in the middle of that energetic shift is literally energy has to break down in order to rebuild and get to its 10th level, which is radiance. So where you're at in this journey, you're going to have some bumps. You may have already bumped into some stuff inside of yourself where, I don't know if I want to go there. But the breakdowns lead to the breakthroughs. That's why this title, which I have, that it's not all about willpower, applies. Some of the willpower is important, yes, but when the breakdown comes, instead of fighting and forcing our way through it, it's asking us to surrender and let go of some of the belief systems we've built. And instead of clinging and holding tighter to them, if we can learn to shut up and sit and let go, and I'm literally lean back into the freedom of not clinging and forcing and coercing and holding on, it really starts to shift at an energetic level inside of us and outside of us. And then you're going to learn, I already shared with you the real definition of success, which is being present right here, right now is enough. That's what real success is. Complete and total freedom, power, liberation, it all lives in the present moment, not in the past, not in the future. So this is where mindfulness keeps coming back in. As you've read in each chapter, we cultivate silence and stillness, shutting up and sitting, so we can stay anchored in this moment and not get stressed and triggered and run on those old scripts or those old beliefs. We are actually writing new ones, and we want to stay present enough to call the old belief out and put the new belief in its place. And then what I love at the end of this chapter, which is so great, is really it's something called the 4 stages of your unfolding. And again, this is all a process. And once you learn this, and you are learning it, by the way, and you're going to come back and keep relearning it. If I told you how many times I've read the words on these pages, how many times I've read the poems, I've done the worksheets, not only for myself, but with clients, because remember, We talked about in the previous chapter in the biology of belief, repetition is one way that we can reprogram our minds. We can write new belief systems. However, the challenge with that as human beings is it takes over, I think the latest research I mentioned in the book was over like 260 days of doing something exactly the same in the exactly same pattern to really kind of reshift or rewrite a belief system. And as human beings, we have a little bit of flaws. We don't like to do the same thing over and over. The brain loves novelty. So here's what's really cool. Willpower gets us some repetition. But shutting up and sitting and the silence that comes with going within and just being with ourselves and being with the silence actually cultivates at a different level, at a different brainwave, which you've already read about. So I'm going to let you keep reading on that. So we're kind of now moving into a space of, like I said, it's how you're unfolding. And as you unfold, you start to get glimpses. You start to see things begin to shift and move. So I'm really excited that you're still with me. And you know what? Again, as you bump into stuff, just go back and rewatch a video, rewatch a TED Talk, reread something in here. It's all here for you to do the work. You're not alone. You can do this, and you are doing this. So as we move out of chapter 5 and we start to go forward, we're going to move into how to then really consciously start to train your mind. So once we get out of the breakdowns happened, now all this awareness has come, you're practicing, you're cultivating, shutting up and sitting. Now we're going to step a little bit further into chapter 6 on how to really consciously train that mind so that you can master it and it doesn't master you. So I'll see you over in chapter 6.